suits for the dry out at 1747.
Good morning and happy Thanksgiving
Copy.
from Mission
Thank
Control
you.
in Houston and the International Space Station Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. At this hour, here in the control room, we've just had a shift handover. Orbit 1 handing over to the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers as we prepare for the opening of the hatches between the newly arrived Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft and its 3 crew members and the International Space Station's 73 crew, the Expedition 73 crew, who will greet them as the newly arrived trio, NASA's Chris Williams and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Sverchkov and Sergei Mikheyev begin their 8 months aboard the orbital outpost. It has been about 2 hours and 16 minutes since the docking occurred of the Soyuz MS-28 to the Roscosmos module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The docking occurring at 6:34 a.m. Central Time, 7:34 a.m. Eastern Time, a flawless 3-hour and 7-minute journey following launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Is the pressure on the side of the ISS? You can close RPV-1, closed. Prep command S5 in work.
The journey of the Soyuz MS-28 began at 3:27 and 57 seconds a.m. Central Time. It was 2:27 and 57 seconds p.m. at the launch site in Baikonur as the main engines lit up on the Soyuz 2.1A booster. The Soyuz lifted off, then arced out to the northeast over the Central Asian desert from the Baikonur Cosmodrome on an 8-minute, 46-second trip to deposit the Soyuz spacecraft and its 3 occupants into its preliminary orbit. The climb to orbit by the 3-stage Soyuz booster was flawless. Everything went by the book, and after the Soyuz separated from the 3rd stage of the Soyuz rocket, it deployed its navigational antennas and solar arrays, and the chase to catch up to the International Space Station was underway.
S6 is ready. And LED is no longer illuminated.
With the Soyuz having executed a number of mid-course correction burns that were pre-planned and automatically arrived in the neighborhood of the International Space Station, the Soyuz slowly but surely eased its way toward the Roscosmos module, eventually linking up at 6:34 a.m. Central Time, 7:34 a.m. Eastern Time, the docking occurring in perfect fashion. No issues reported whatsoever, setting the stage for hooks to be closed to form a hard mate between the Soyuz and the Roscosmos module. Now, over the course of the past 2 hours and 16 minutes or so, there have been leak checks and pressure checks conducted on both sides of the docking interface, with Soyuz commander, or rather Space Station Commander Sergei Ryzhikov conducting those leak checks on the Roscosmos side of the docking interface, and the leak checks being conducted by Soyuz Commander Sergei Sverchkov on the Soyuz side of the docking interface at the Roscosmos module. Those leak checks and pressure checks to equalize pressure across the docking interface are about to come to a close. That will set the stage for the Expedition 73 crew to greet their Soyuz counterparts and to greet them on board in the vestibule, if you will, of the Roscosmos module of the International Space Station. Once the hatches are open between the 2 vehicles, the newly arrived trio of Chris Williams, Sergei Sverchkov, and Sergei Mikheyev, they will make their way along with the Expedition 73 crew to the Zvezda service module. They'll don headsets and receive congratulatory calls from Russian space officials at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow and the town of Korolyov, as well as the spacecraft communicator here in Mission Control in Houston.
Station Moscow, space to ground 2, for hatch opening.
This view showing in the foreground the newly arrived Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft on board in the descent module. Chris Williams, Sergei Sverchkov, and Sergei Mikheyev are completing their pressure checks prior to the time that they'll be given permission to open the hatch between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module. At the top of your screen, at the adjacent docking port, which is the Prishal node module, also on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the station, is the Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft that will be the ride home in about a week and a half or so for Johnny Kim of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Alexei Zabritsky and Sergei Ryzhikov, who will be heading for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan. That will be late in the evening of December 8th U.S. time, early in the morning of December 9th on the steppe of Kazakhstan.
We are AOS on KU band. We'll start hatch opening.
Сtation
Moscow, space to ground 2 for Sergei. Moscow station, space to ground 2. Station Moscow for Sergei on space to ground 2 for hatch opening.
The Russian flight controllers of the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow are preparing to bring us inside the Rassvet module at the hatchway to the Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft for hatch opening. We should be ready for all of that once we pass a handover in our tracking and data relay satellite system that we will lose the downlink video from the station for. It will only last a couple of minutes before we regain that KU capability, and then we'll be ready for hatch opening. And the greeting by the Expedition 73 crew of the newly arrived trio aboard the Soyuz MS-28, who will take up residence on the station for the next 8 months. Again, we're standing by for the opening of the hatches between the Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft and the Rassvet module on board the International Space Station. It was a flawless ride from the launch pad in Baikonur toward the docking at the Rassvet module for NASA's Chris Williams and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Sverchkov, the Soyuz commander, and his board engineer, Sergei Mikheyev. Once those hatches are opened, the population of the International Space Station will rise to 10. continuing the permanent human occupancy of the International Space Station that began on November 2nd, 2000, with the arrival on board of the Expedition 1 crew, Bill Shepard, Sergei Krikalev, and Yuri Gidzenko.
Station Moscow, Space to Ground 2. For hatch opening or head-on Space to Ground 2, how do you read me? Yes, sir. We're back, iOS. In MRM-1, you may activate the camera and open the MRM-1 SU hatch. Copy.
And we're just moments away from regaining our downlink television capability from the station. Once we do, we'll be on board in the Rosviet module to watch the work being done on the station side of the docking interface by Sergei Ryzhikov, the station commander, as he works to open the station hatch. That'll be followed by the opening of the Soyuz hatch by Sergei Kud-Sverchkov. The International Space Station is currently flying 260 miles above the South Pacific, having begun a southwest to northeasterly track that will carry it across the northwest coast of South America a short time from now. And you can see on the front screen here in Mission Control, the International Space Station is being portrayed by an icon of a turkey in celebration of this Thanksgiving Day.
Moscow Station, Space to Ground 2. The MRM-1 SU hatch is open. And pressurization valve is in electrical control. MRM-1 SU Soyuz valve.
Принято. Работаем по действиям рамки страницы 70. Открывая ККТ. ККТ открыт. Открывая КВД. Контролируем С3. С3 горит. Засекли 2 минуты.
And we've regained our television capability. You can see the station commander, Sergei Ryzhikov, with the headset on right at the hatchway to Soyuz. Alexei Zabritsky is right by his side. Other crew members have gathered. It will be a photo fest here shortly as the hatches will be opened on the Soyuz side, and the newly arrived trio will float on board. At the bottom of your screen, NASA's Johnny Kim, who will be returning to Earth on December 8th. U.S. time, along with Zabritsky and Ryzhikov and the Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft. They will be wrapping up their 8 months aboard the International Space Station. Oleg Platonov, who flew to the station on the SpaceX Crew 11 Dragon Endeavour back in August, also in the field of view. We are just standing by for that hatch right behind Ryzhikov to swing open, and for Williams, Kud-Sverchkov, and Mikheyev to float on board. As part of Expedition 73, the increments will change from 73 to 74 at the time that Kim, Zabritsky, and Ryzhikov undock from the International Space Station on December 8th.
Не принимаем.
Сергей, ну пока выравнивается давление, пометьте себе, возьмите там или планшет, или пометьте себе, что консервацию выполняем транспортного корабля по орбитальному полету. Страница 25.
По орбитальному полету.
38.
Страница. Тиреты.
25-38, пункт 4, то есть выполняете.
Пункт 4 принято.
Вот, а вот пункт 4, шаг 3. В книге «Орбитальный полет» надо будет выполнить на следующие сутки.
То есть выполняем шаги все, кроме 3-го сегодня.
Да, все верно, Сергей. Так, газоанализатор мы не консервируем.
Принято ГА не консервируем.
Вместо этого выдадим просто команду Т6 на отключение газоанализатора.
Принято.
Так, выполните замену патрона ВСА П1 на П3.
Принцип П1 на П3 меняем.
Так, себе еще пометьте, перенести из УМов бытовой отсек вашего корабля нужно будет перенести АФОТ и БМП, соответственно, с 3 и ПК-1М.
Принцип.
Как принял?
Принял, да, перенести АФОТ, БМП, плюс 3 ПК-1М.
Да, все верно. This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just joining us, you're looking in the Roscosmos module of the International Space Station, where Expedition 73 crew members, led by Station Commander Sergei Ryzhikov, right by the hatchway with the head set on, are waiting for the hatch to open on the Soyuz MS-28 that docked to the station's Roscosmos module at 6:34 a.m. Central Time, 7:34 a.m. Eastern Time, after a flawless 3-hour, 7-minute journey following launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Ryzhikov is tapping on the hatchway, checking to see if anybody's home. I can assure you they are. Just completing final procedures before they open the hatch and join their Expedition 73 crewmates.
Moscow Station, Space to Ground 2. Sergei, go ahead on Space to Ground 2. Are we staying on Space to Ground 2, Konstantin? Yes, we're still standing by. We are equalizing the pressure right now. Everything is going per the plan. Copy.
После этого отключите средства связи по 72-й странице. Про заглушку я вам сказал, и отключите блоки очистки основной резервной на бробе. На патрон очистки в БОшной нужно будет надеть заглушку.
Под АВБ отключим здесь связь и отключим блоки очистки здесь.
Ну, перед тем, как будешь связь отключать, выйди на связь, скажи, что ты отключаешься.
Да, хорошо, конечно.
Так, что у нас там с выравниванием?
Продолжается выравнивание. Текущее давление на мановакуометре 761 миллиметр.
Принято. Ну,
Once the hatches are open and the 10 crew members move inside the Zvezda service module to receive welcoming and congratulatory remarks from Russian officials at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Korolyov and from our spacecraft communicator here at Mission Control, Laura Beachy, they will move on to a traditional safety briefing that will be conducted by Sergei Ryzhikov, the station commander, before heading into a midday meal and the wrap-up of what has been a very long day, particularly for the Soyuz crew.
Okay, 2-minute timer, and then we're standing by for hatch opening. Copy that, 2 more minutes.
And that 2-minute timer refers to a final check on the equalization of pressure in the small passageway between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module.
Сергей, попросили вам еще раз напомнить, что газоанализатор мы не консервируем, а выдаем команду только Т6 на отключение газоанализатора.
Видно Т6 на отключение вместо консервации.
Принято.
Две минуты прошло. Вступаем, готовы работать. Так, отставить. Закрываю ККТ.
Tunnel pressure control valve.
Закрываем
KVD, PV valve to close, and we'll make sure that S4 is no longer illuminated. It is not illuminated. We are ready to execute actions in 8.1, page 7.1. Should I transfer now? Yes, you can do that. Moscow, we're starting to to open the BOSU hatch cover. Yes, here we go. And we're getting the station's broadcast, so we'll be watching you do that. So we'll just start opening it now.
Once again, standing by for the opening of the hatch to the Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft and the arrival on board of Chris Williams of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Sverchkov and Sergei Mikheyev.
I'll just repeat that the broadcast is on. Copy.
Ручка сработала. Так.
It was activated.
Сейчас экрана чуть-чуть. Так,
and the Soyuz hatch now open at 9:16 a.m. Central Time, 10:16 a.m. Eastern Time, as the International Space Station flew 260 miles over the eastern Pacific, just to the west of South America.
Assets and air purification units. How copy? Copy.
Again, the Soyuz hatch opened at 9:16 a.m. Central, 10:16 a.m. Eastern Time, standing by for the 3 new crew members to float inside the International Space Station.
And the 2 flight engineers can exit now.
And the Soyuz hatch now swinging open, paving the way for 3 new crew members to arrive on the station. Chris Williams first in. Sergei Mikheyev second in. And the Soyuz commander, Kud Sverchkov. Station population now swelling to 10. The crew now will make their way inside the Zvezda service module to receive welcoming and congratulatory remarks from officials there in Moscow.
Is on the station. Yes, we can see and confirm. Congratulations. So we may go to Space to Ground 1 now and turn off the camera.
The 10 crew members will now reconvene in the Zvezda service module. We are expecting some welcoming remarks from officials at the Russian Mission Control Center that you see there from this balcony camera view in Korolyov outside of Moscow, and a few words from our spacecraft communicator here in Mission Control in Houston, Laura Beachy. You see Beachy next to Flight Director Chris Dobbins, the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers now having taken the helm on this Thanksgiving Day, watching over the International Space Station.
Station Moscow, Space to Ground 1. We switched the cameras, so you may turn off the camera in the service module. Turn it on. Copy, turning on the camera in the service module.
We should be seeing the crew inside the Zvezda service module momentarily.
We are receiving the video. How do you read us? We read you loud and clear.
We can hear you very well.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on being on the station. Great to hear you. Waiting for you all to get together so that we can switch you to the big screen. Are you ready? We're ready. Switching you to the big screen. ISS crew, good day. This is Dmitry, Sergey, Chris, great to see you on ISS. There's a large crew here now. The personnel of Mission Control Moscow is congratulating you. It has been perfect flight to perfect rendezvous, perfect docking. We are happy to be with you here. Now it will be 8 months ahead of us. Congratulations to being here. Thank you. Good to hear you. The operators are sending greetings to you. I'm giving the mic to the guests. They're here at the balcony. They want to talk to you. Thank you again. Thank you. Sergey, hi. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Perfect. Just like second time. It's a bit different than last time. So you came here to stay over winter. Looks like it. Yes, we are actually hiding from the cold here. So okay, so you're going to be here over winter. The cosmonauts are spending winter on ISS. Yeah, the weather down here is not as good. We'll be waiting for you. We'll be waiting for you to come back in the summer. Good. Thank you. Sergey, we can see your happy face. We are so happy for you. It happened again. All your achievements, all your efforts paid off. So you managed to be here. And we'll be waiting for you to come back. Make sure you will spend your time the way you want to usefully and enjoy the views from the station. This is a big hug from the whole family. Okay. Hello to Alena. Understand.
Привет, крестный.
Hi, cousin.
Привет, Сережа.
Hi, Sergey.
Все у вас хорошо, вижу.
Everything is good. I can see you.
Пусть твоя команда всегда поддерживает тебя, а техника работает безупречно.
Make sure you take care of yourself so that everything works perfectly. Thank you.
Спасибо.
We'll do our best.
Сереж, привет.
Hi, Sergey.
Привет.
Hi.
Мы все видели, смотрели. Спасибо
We've
тебе
been
большое. Желаем
watching.
тебе удачи.
We wish you success. Thank you.
Складывалось замечательно.
Let's make sure everything lines up perfectly.
Спасибо, будем стараться.
Thank you, thank you.
От Леши тоже привет, но он не смог, к сожалению, приехать.
Do our best.
Но мы все передадим ему.
Alesha is saying hello. We will. He wasn't able to be here, but we'll show him the video. Let's meet again down here, okay? In our town, of course. Yes, thank you, Oksana.
Алло. Алло.
Hello.
Привет.
Hi.
Ну, как дела?
How are you?
Алло.
Hello.
Как дела?
How are you?
Передобрый я тебя. И желаю тебе всего хорошего.
Wishing you all the best, okay?
Хорошего полета тебе даю.
Have a good flight.
И все хорошо.
Thank you.
Ждем тебя.
Well, we're waiting for you here, okay?
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Давай.
Take care.
Ребята, я вас приветствую.
Guys, greetings to
Крепкого
you.
вам здоровья.
Have
Успехов
good
вашей миссии и
health,
возвращения.
success in your mission.
Всего благ.
Return well. All the best to you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. This is Kalashnikov again. So we're done with the Russian side greetings. We hand you over to Mission Control Houston. Thank you again. And the previous crew, please come back. We're looking forward to see you soon back here on the ground. Thank you. Thank you. All the best. Appreciate it.
And Station Houston on Space to Ground 1 from Houston. Welcome to the International Space Station, Sergey, and Chris. As you guys know, just a few weeks ago, our international partnership commemorated 25 years of continuous human presence on the ISS, and the three of you are extending that impressive milestone. And you've started it off with a just flawless arrival. So thanks for setting the stage for a historic increment on this international laboratory that benefits all of humanity. Welcome to the ISS, and have a great time. Yeah, great banner back there. Go 25 years and continuing.
Thank you so much. We're super happy to be here.
And Station Houston, thanks for a great event. We are just wrapping up here on the ground. Appreciate it.
МКС Цепом Москвы ВСГ-1, с вами снова Костя. Мы закончили наше общение такое общее. Сейчас вас отключают с больших экранов, поэтому можно расходиться. Я вас еще раз поздравляю с выполнением, с прибытием. Рада вас были видеть. Спасибо большое.
It was great to see you. Thank you again. Talk to you soon. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
And welcoming remarks from officials and friends of the newly arrived crew at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside of Moscow. And here in Houston, in Mission Control, from Laura Beachy, the spacecraft communicator, part of the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers working on this Thanksgiving Day. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage of the arrival of Soyuz MS-28 to the International Space Station. You see that vehicle in the foreground, docked to the Roscosmos module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. And adjacent to that is the Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft that will be the ride home for Johnny Kim of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zubritsky on December 8th as we transition from Expedition 73 to Expedition 74. We'll have all of that coverage for you a week from Monday on December 8th on NASA Plus. For now, that will wrap up our coverage of flawless arrival at the International Space Station for Chris Williams of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Sverchkov and Sergei Mikheyev. With that, we'll complete our coverage for the day. Thanks for joining us throughout the course of the night. And with that, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving from Mission Control in Houston.